They don't care what happens. They can just come in your country, get you when they feel like exaggerated. The idea that a superpower can actually reach into a country and remove its leader exposes a very, very big problem. It just exposes how sovereignty is fragile, how fragile sovereignty is. America is not rude, it's not ran by politicians. I mean, they're the face of the whole thing, but it's not run by politicians. It's run by billionaires. The people in the back actually paying for the politicians to do these things are the millionaires, the billionaires, the business people, the rich people. We are helping Venezuela because we care about their humanity. We care about their human rights. Their human rights is being violated by President Maduro. What makes Venezuela special? Why not a country in Africa? Why not Tanzania? Hear me out. Hear me out. Hello everybody, welcome to the Dummy Effect podcast. So there is this unverified news, as I don't know if you've heard about it, but there's this unverified news that the president of Venezuela, is it President something Maduro, was captured by the United States of America, and I don't know how to feel about that. So we're gonna react to some clips on TikTok, on social media. Basically, we're just gonna react. We are going to react. So right now, what is gonna happen is we are going to react to some clips, and then I'm just gonna share with you a thing or two, like things that I think, what I think, and you can judge for yourself. And I don't know. But also remember, this channel, if you ever click in on any video that has to do with this channel, it is always Africa based. So I base everything on Africa. So I look at what is happening and I try to base it to relate it to Africa. So without further ado, let's start with the video. Video shows airstrike in Venezuela carried out by US Air Force. Let's spread it back. I don't even think this is real. This is a real clip, so I'm not sure. All right. So yeah, that's the leader's name, Nicolas Maduro. And I'm pretty sure if they actually carried out this, if this is what actually happened, Americans do not really agree with this. Especially the people that voted for President Trump, they don't really agree with him on this, because he ran on the mandate. He said he was going to stop wars. That was one of his points. His main reason why he was running. He said, we are going to stop wars overseas and concentrate on America, concentrate on the country. So the fact that he's doing this, if this is what actually happened, he's going against his people. And if a president is going against his people, it means he is working for, or he is helping the rich people, the billionaires, the corporations, those corporations. That's what I think. Yo, this could be actually real.
Marico, se prendió el peo en esa mierda, ¿oyó?
This is crazy. That's brute America. This is a reputable news channel, I think. I'm not sure, man.
Donald Trump.
Venezuelans in Miami celebrate as the US confirms strikes in Venezuela and capture of President Maduro. I mean, on the one hand, I would see how people are going to be happy when news like this comes out. I understand. I'm not gonna lie. I really do understand. But even if there's a problem in the country, is America the answer? Is the United States of the America the answer? That's the problem. If you ask me, no, it's not the problem. It's never the answer. If you have a problem in your country, it's better you sort it out or stay with the problem. I don't know, man. You see, it's crazy because this is the only one person. They are supposed to be the police of the world. They are supposed to be the guidance, the guardians of peace, the guardians of democracy, the guardians of human rights. But no, did I say guardians? The guidance, what's the word? But they are supposed to be protecting. They are supposed to be the people protecting democracy, protecting human rights, protecting all those things. But no, they are the first people to violate all of these things in other countries. How do we look up to people? How do we look up to people like this and then claim and then want them to help us? This is crazy. Which is why I don't even think these people right here are happy. I don't blame them. They are really happy. I really don't blame them for being happy. But on the other hand, is America really the one that you want to come save you? Okay, if it is true that they actually captured President Maduro, then let's just hold on and see. Hopefully, Venezuela does not become another Libya. But that's something we're gonna talk about later. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's continue with this one. I really hope this is the answer. There is actually an answer, a good answer, basically.
Donald Trump has gotten us into a full-blown war with a nation of Venezuela with the abduction of President Maduro and his wife. Vice President of Venezuela, who is now the acting president, has asked America for proof of war with a nation of Venezuela with the abduction of President Maduro.
I don't think this is a clip. No, I don't think that's real. No, I don't think that's real. That's probably AI. Yeah. No, we're not gonna be watching no AI.
The United States has carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela, capturing the country's president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife. The announcement came after a series of explosions hit the country's capital, Caracas, overnight. This is new video just into the NBC4 newsroom. The U.S. has been ramping up the pressure on Venezuela for months. The United States has carried out a large-scale...
Right now, I'm shocked. I'm just speechless at this point.
El pueblo venezolano ha sido objeto de la más criminal agresión militar por parte del gobierno de los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica. Hasta el momento, la barbarie de la...
So this is the Venezuelan armed forces. Sky News. Venezuelan armed forces have been deployed and authorities are taking account of the wounded and dead after US strikes. And there's this comment. I don't know. I'm just gonna let me see if you can see. There's a comment here. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Can you see? Yeah. Say, people, wake up. Trump doesn't care who's in power in Venezuela. He just wants access to their oil just as much as he wants to do business with Russia and doesn't care about Ukraine. Why is the world accepting this behavior? And that is the question I keep asking. Why? What I really want to know is, what is the answer? What is the response from the leaders of the world, right? Like your China, your Russia, your Britain, your everybody, like all the presidents, all the leaders in the world. What are their response? I don't know yet. I don't even know if they responded. But if this actually happens, if this is true, they have to be something. They have to hold America accountable, because this means that no country's sovereignty is just a myth at this point. Sovereignty is just a myth at this point. All right, because now they don't care. They don't care if they don't care what happens. They can just come in your country, get you when they feel like it. And mind you, I keep saying this: America is not rude. It's not run. It's not ran on by politicians. It's not run by politicians. I mean, they are the people. They are the face of the whole thing. But it's not run by politicians. It's run by billionaires. The people in the back actually paying for the politicians to do these things are the millionaires, not even millionaires, the billionaires, the business people, the rich people. All right. So which is which is why most people would say America actually went there, because went to Venezuela, not because they feel in their heart that Maduro is really a bad leader and they want to free they want to make Venezuelans free from Maduro and give Venezuelans good human rights or help them in whatever way they want to be helped in. No. They went there specifically because of the oil. Because of crude oil. What is a politician like who have, like, let's say Trump, what does he want to do with oil? Why does the oil for Venezuela's oil really concern you? You are not you don't care about oil. You are a real estate person. You care about houses, right? So why do you care? No, it's not him. He's not the one that cares. It's somebody else that cares about that oil. That's why they have to be there. You know, what are they really doing to actually hold, if this is true, what are they doing to hold America accountable? Because this cannot really stand. It means if they have a problem with you, they can just come into your country, just make up some lies, come into your country and get you and grab you. And if they can grab president if they can get into a country and grab a president, what about normal citizens? What about normal civilians? Because even at this point, me saying these things right now, talking like this right now, it's not really safe. It makes it just scary for everybody. It makes everything just scary all around. Okay? So, what makes Venezuela so special? What makes Venezuela special? Because if we're gonna base it on the fact that America is just looking out for Venezuelans, and America does not really care about the natural resource that Venezuela has, like that the oil is specifically. What makes Venezuela so special? Because if I'm not wrong, in Africa we have leaders that we have been crying, that we Africans are crying that we need help. There are presidents in Africa that do not really care about the country. All they do is loot, get the money and build houses overseas. And Africans are actually crying for help, but they don't know, but they are not helping. So if that's the case that, okay, we are helping Venezuela because we care about their humanity, we care about their human rights. Their human rights is being violated by President Maduro. What makes Venezuela special? Why not a country in Africa? Why not what is this country? Why not Uganda? Why not Nigeria? Why not what is this other country? Why not Tanzania? Why not Congo? We're going to talk about Congo. Why not these countries? Why do you have to pick which countries you want to really actually invade and violate their sovereignty? If that's actually how you say it. Why do you pick and choose? Why do you pick and choose? That's what I really want to know. Why is Africa never on the list of these countries? If you actually cared that Maduro was not the right leader for Venezuela, and what you care about was the people, not the natural resources, why Venezuela? Why do you care so much? Why not other countries, especially African countries? Why? And also, if that's the case, why does this have similar, like, why let's look at Libya for example, because that's the only other country that America has actually gone into, and in the name of trying to free the people, trying to help the people fight for themselves. Why Libya? What do these two countries have in common? Oil. These two countries have oil in common. All right. And why do you always just pick the countries? Why does the countries that you step into trying to liberate the people just happen to be oil rich? Why do these countries just happen to be oil rich? And let's just sprinkle a little bit of Nigeria in there. Why all of a sudden you wanna step into Nigeria and save Nigeria from terrorists or from the killing of Christians, framing it as Christians, they are killing Christians, are dying. Of course they are dying, but why Nigeria? Why Nigeria, and why now? Is it because maybe Nigeria has oil? Or maybe Nigeria is close to Niger, and Niger is has which mineral resources does Niger really have in abundance? Why these countries? Why focus on countries that have minerals that you need, raw materials that you need? Why? These are just questions that I really want to know, and I feel like most Africans really do want to know as well. Or appears to. The US president said that Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro has, along with his wife, and flown out of. Wait, what? The United States. I don't know if this is actually true, but the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been along with his wife captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with US law and law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. in Mar-a-Lago. Sorry. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Oh man. All right. Okay.
Vamos agora então para umas declarações.
Muy buenos días al pueblo de Venezuela.
Esta es la información a esta hora sobre los...
Nicolás Maduro fue capturado.
So, it seems like this thing is true. I don't know. Seems like it's actually true. Okay. Okay, bro, like I'm saying, why does interest only happen why does intervention only happens where there is interest? And in the other places, I guess in places like, say, Congo, Nigeria, people, you only hear they try to intervene where their interests actually are, like what they need. Let's say, for example, in Nigeria, they need oil, I guess, and some natural resources, I guess, and maybe they want to control that area, the northern area of Nigeria, where the raw materials are, where Nigeria have most of its raw materials, and maybe the border between Nigeria and Niger, I think it's Niger, right? Yeah. Like they want to have easy access to Niger. Why do we always see intervention only where they have large interest, and then in other parts where they need intervention, but it's silence? Why? Maybe because they already know in those areas where people actually need intervention, everything is already aligned, right? They already have the president. Those people, the presidents in those countries align with should I say the West? So there's no need to intervene because they're already doing their bidding. So they can do whatever they want to the citizens. It's not their problem. It only becomes their problem when the country is refusing to align with their interest. So they have to intervene for humanitarian, for human rights purposes and stuff like that. So it's a tricky one, I'm not gonna lie, okay? It's a tricky one. So that's hey, yo, bro. This is not really about Venezuela anymore, okay? This is not really about Venezuela. No, it's not really about Venezuela. Whether the claim is true or is exaggerated, the idea that a superpower can actually reach into a country and remove its leader exposes a real problem. Exposes a very, very big problem. It just exposes how sovereignty is fragile, how fragile sovereignty is. Okay, especially in the modern world. It shows that power is really the only thing that has a voice. Not international law. To hell with international law. Power is the only thing that sets the real limit. So you are only limited to, nobody's gonna cross you. Nobody's gonna try to interfere in your business. Nobody's gonna try to say any stupid thing to you. Nobody's gonna try to intervene. Oh, wait, what am I really trying to say? Nobody is really gonna try to put their mouth in your business if you are powerful. Now, America and Russia, America knows its limit. Okay, America is not just gonna jump into Russia and start doing blah, blah, blah. No, fuck that. Russia does not play. China does not play. They know where to start. They know where to do that nonsense. All right, they know when and where to do that nonsense. Not in those countries, because those countries are very, very powerful. So power is what really sets the limit, not international law. International law is just some made up thing made for these other countries to follow, especially America. America does not follow any international law. When it comes to law, they do not care what they don't even think about international law. When they see something in your country that they want, they are coming to get it. It belongs to them. They're gonna use any way, they're gonna lie, they're gonna throw anything to make people believe that, okay, this is why we are actually going to the country, not because we want their natural resource, but because we want to help them based on international law. So if this is actually true, it means that power is really the thing that sets limit. So Russia is going to be like, if you know you are somebody, cross this line and see what I will do to you. So America is like, okay, I hear you, brother. We're not going to cross that line, okay? You got it. See, nuclear power to nuclear power. No. Which is why I feel like every country in the world needs a nuclear weapon. If everybody has a nuclear weapon, then there's going to be actually real peace. At this point, there's no peace. The other countries do not just have what they want. They don't have what they want, and their leaders are not aligned. Most African leaders are aligned. They know what is. They know you better be aligned or else you're gonna be hit with the hammer. If the US or any empire, because the US is actually acting like an empire right now, if the US or any empire, can act decisively when its interests are threatened, like I just said, it is scary. It is very, very scary. Then decades of silence during African operation coups and resource theft were not due to incapacity. No, it was just due to choice. They just chose not to. They just chose not to help. Silence was the policy. They just chose not to help. Silence was the policy. If they could do this, if this shows that if they can actually do this, it means when African oppression, when people were oppressing, when Africa goes through oppression and Africans need help, the fact that these people are not helping is because the policy at that point is say nothing, do nothing. Like what is happening in Sudan right now? What is the policy? That is a policy of the day. Stay silent. Stay silent. That has got to be the policy, bro. It's not because you cannot do. It's just not because you cannot do nothing. It's like you are incapacitated. Like, nah, look, we really want to help, but we can't. It's because no, you are choosing not to help, and now we see it. Because if you really want to help, you can really do help. I feel like Africa must read this as a warning, not entertainment. Any African that actually sees this as an entertainment, please, brother. If you're seeing this as an entertainment, your priorities are not straight. You need to see this as a warning. It's a warning sign. As an African or as a Pan-Africanist, we should be looking at this as a warning sign. This should be a lesson for Africa and we should not be emotional about this. This should be a lesson, because this moment should sharpen Africans. You guys must be, your political thinking must be on A1. What we need right now is more people that care about Africa, more leaders that care about Africa. Maybe in the future, more, because the leaders that we have right now don't really care about Africa. They care about money. They care about their pockets. All right. So Africa right now, we need to build internal capacity. We need to build things in our country, reduce dependency, build internal capacity, reduce dependency from other countries. Because the more we depend on these other countries, the more they can use those dependencies to step foot into our countries, to violate our sovereignty, because we depend on them for certain things, for example, security and stuff like that. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. They step in and they also violated the sovereignty of Nigeria. Maybe that was a test also, because there was this bombing that we heard that happened on Christmas, on the 25th of December. There was this bombing, and allegedly they say we heard that they didn't really, that Nigerians, the authorities didn't know that this was going to happen. It happened without them knowing, and that was a violation of sovereignty. So if you have built capacity and reduce your dependency and not depending on these people for certain things, they will not come into your country and try to secure your country for you. If you already took care of these things on your own by yourself, they will not come into your country and try to take care of these things for you. I'm not saying what they did was right, but the people of Nigeria need to hold their leaders accountable. Instead of relying on America to come and secure them, they should hold their authorities accountable. Because if America gets into Nigeria as they want to, it's all you guys are going to be sorry. I promise. This is not a joke. They are already blueprints. They already have like blueprints of what they did. They already did this. They have already been doing these things for time. All right. So build internal capacity, reduce dependency reduce dependency. All right. Protect institutions, important institutions that really need to be protected, and understand that global power respects strength, not sympathy. Global power respects strength, not sympathy. For example, if America wanted to come to Nigeria and Nigeria was like, fuck you, stop, do not fucking come in our country, we have this handled, and actually went along and handled it, then America would have no leg to stand on. Now, some of these dumb people that are supporting America to go into Nigeria, senseless people that don't have sense. They don't know the impact of when America goes into Nigeria. Now, what they can see, these are people that don't have like long term. They don't see in the future. These are people that only see only see short term things. Like, they only see what is going to happen when they come. When they come, they're going to neutralize the threat. The terrorist threat. They're only going to stop that one. That's if they are not the one actually funding those people, because I feel like they are the ones funding them. So they're gonna go there, kill those innocent, kill those people. How dare I say innocent? Those people, they kill people, so they're not innocent. They're gonna go there, kill them, and then say, we have neutralized your threat. And people are gonna say, yay, America, yay, King Empire America, we thank you. No, you can come and stay now because you helped us and stuff. And then that's when the craziness starts. But hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really do not know. So I hope this is not true. I hope they didn't violate these people's sovereignty, and I would like to know what these people have or are doing. I would like to know what the rest of the world, the leaders of the world, are saying. Especially, I would like to really know what African leaders are talking about. Like, African leaders are saying. I'd like to know what African leaders are saying. I would really like to know what African leaders are talking about. So without further ado, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please go ahead, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also, let me know what you think about this whole violation thing, and let me know what you think Africans should learn about this whole situation, or Africa and Africans should learn about this whole situation. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.